The Amalfi Coast Road should not exist. It clings to the cliffs of southern Italy like something someone built on a dare. A narrow ribbon of asphalt carved into rock faces above the Tyrrhenian Sea, with hairpin turns that require buses to execute in three-point maneuvers and views that make drivers briefly forget they are driving. Built in the early 19th century by Bourbon engineers who apparently had no fear of heights, the Strada Statale 163 connects a string of fishing villages that had previously been reachable only by sea. It transformed the Amalfi Coast from a remote, self-contained world into something the rest of Italy, and eventually the rest of the world, could reach. What they found when they arrived has not fundamentally changed. Towns terraced into cliffs, lemon groves impossibly steep, the sea below in a shade of blue that seems lit from within. The coast earned its UNESCO designation for the way it exists at all. This is Amalfi, and it earns every cliché that has ever been written about it. The most memorable way to arrive is by ferry. From Naples or Salerno, hydrofoils and ferries make regular runs along the coast, docking at the small harbours of Amalfi, Positano and Ravello's nearby port. Arriving by water means the coast reveals itself gradually, each village appearing as a cliff-clinging cluster of colour before resolving into streets and staircases and gelato shops as you pull into port. By car, the road announces itself immediately. Steep, narrow, dramatic and, particularly in summer, shared with tour buses, delivery trucks and an unreasonable number of motorini. The views are extraordinary. The driving requires your full attention. These two facts are in constant tension. However you arrive, the coast greets you with the same warm, salt-scented air and the sound of water, either from the sea below or the small streams that cascade down the valleys between villages. Positano is the coast's most photographed town, and it is not modest about it. The village descends from the hilltop to the sea in a cascade of pastel buildings, pink, yellow, terracotta, stacked so closely together that neighbours' terraces overlap. The beach at the bottom is small and pebbly, framed by the medieval church of Santa Maria Assunta with its majolica tiled dome. The streets of Positano are almost entirely stairs. Navigation is vertical. What reads on a map as a short walk is, in reality, a climb that rewards you with a view you didn't expect and leaves you slightly winded in a way you find you don't mind. The boutiques lining the stairways sell linen clothing, handmade sandals, and ceramics in the lemon-yellow colours that characterize the coast's aesthetic. The restaurants that hang over the sea serve grilled fish, pasta with local seafood, and the limoncello for which this stretch of Italy has become famous. A liqueur made from the lemons grown on these very cliffs and tasting specifically and intensely of the place it comes from. High above the coast, the town of Ravello sits on a ridge with views that stretch across the entire sweep of the Tyrrhenian Sea. Ravello has attracted artists, musicians and writers for generations, drawn by the quality of its light, the coolness of its altitude, and the extraordinary gardens of Villa Simbrone and Villa Ruffolo. The Belvedere of Infinity at Villa Simbrone, a terrace lined with classical busts suspended at the edge of the cliff, is one of those places where the view is so theatrical it feels unreal. Every summer, Ravello hosts classical music concerts in the Villa Ruffolo gardens, with the sea as backdrop. The combination of music and that particular view is the kind of experience that defies adequate description. The Sentiero degli Dei, the Path of the Gods, begins near the hilltop village of Bomerano and traces the ridgeline above the coast for several kilometers before descending to Positano. It is one of the finest walks in Europe, narrow, sometimes vertiginous, with views that change with every 100 meters of trail. The Amalfi Coast's identity is inseparable from its lemons. The Sfusato Amalfitano, the local lemon variety, grows in terraced groves that cover every available slope. They are larger than standard lemons, more fragrant, with a rind thick enough to be used in cooking on its own. They appear everywhere, in the limoncello, in the pasta sauces, in the granitas sold from carts near the beach. The coast's fishing tradition is equally fundamental. Small boats still work the waters daily, and the restaurants reflect what the sea provides. Anchovies from Setara, fresh mussels, local swordfish, and the simple, perfect combination of spaghetti alle vongole eaten on a terrace above the water. The Amalfi Coast is a place built on the edge of things. on the edge of the sea, on the edge of cliffs that should have discouraged settlement, on the edge of what is logistically possible, this road, these buildings, these lemon groves on 45-degree slopes. And perhaps that is why it holds something that more comfortable, more accessible places sometimes lack. The feeling that the beauty was earned by the people who built here, who farmed here, who carved that impossible road out of rock. Come for the views, come for the light on the water in the late afternoon. Come for the lemons. Stay long enough to walk the old paths between the villages where the coast reveals itself at a human pace, without the roar of an engine, with nothing between you and that blue sea but air. Total words. 870, estimated runtime at 140 WPM. 6:15, photo count needed. 10 images. Music. Insert Sean's cue. Cinematic, Italian, Mediterranean warmth. His voice. Warm, measured, slight gravitas.